Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, it's a Saturday. I do not normally post videos on Saturday over here in the general public. Every single day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, I post videos in the member spaces. I'm a teensy bit obsessed with this whole true crime thing. Hang on for a second. But yesterday, Jennifer Crumbley, the state of Michigan versus Jennifer Crumbley. They had closing statements, and I had thoughts and feelings, and I expressed them quite graphically this morning in a teensy bit of a rant, a little bit of a rant. Sometimes I rant, but I did it over there in the member spaces because cuss words, y'all, I curse like a sailor. I'm sorry. But when I come here in the public, I got my pinkies out, I act like a lady, and I'm going to do my very, very best to not say any curse words. So look, this is what happened. But first, before I forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, Jennifer Crumbley and Shannon Smith. Let me tell you something. I was not sure what to expect yesterday in the closing statements of attorney Shannon Smith in the state of Michigan versus Jennifer Crumbley. Now look, we have watched Shannon Smith for these many weeks. Oh, she came in court and she's flustered and she's a mess and she would cluck like a chicken. Your Honor, my God, the whole thing. I was so sick of her. But you know what I discovered yesterday? Shannon Smith is Keyser Söze. Do you know who Keyser Söze is? Look, the movie The Usual Suspects. Keyser Söze. You thought that Keyser was like this, he was this broke down, pathetic, pitiful dude. But when the chips were down, it was like, boom. He was doing the whole thing. He was running the whole operation. This is why I say Shannon Smith is Keyser Söze. She fumbled around that courtroom. She acted a straight fool. She was just like, I can't get the technology to work, blah, 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 blah. A mess. And she had her client sitting there looking homeless. I was like, you can't have this heifer run a brush through her hair. She needs a brush. Obviously, you should not loan her your brush because lice and prison and whatever, but they don't have brushes in the state of Michigan. She's like, okay, Jennifer, girl, this is what I'm going to get you to do. I'm going to get you to get some clothes from the Lost and Found. Make sure they're too big for you and that you look a mess and have some tendrils down. Make sure you might not have bathed this morning. And then I'm going to need you to come here and sit and look pitiful. So everybody's going to look at you and think, she could be me. That could be me. Oh my goodness, this terrible thing could have happened to me. But here's the thing that you need to know. The Jennifer Crumbley that you see sitting in court these last couple of weeks, that's not the Jennifer Crumbley who was at her house with the filthy house and the crazy son and the affairs and all the other stuff. These are not the same people. Oh, Miss Jennifer Crumbley has been through some things. Those things were well deserved. But at the time of this crime, you know what she looked like? Oh, the nails were done. The hair was done. She did not have time for you because she was better than all of this. She was better than dealing with her child's mental illness. She was busy, y'all. She was booked and busy. She had things to do. She was working ski patrol. Oh, she kept her body snatched in together. Word on the street is that she was using Adderall to keep her weight down. But you ain't heard that from me, and I cannot accuse her of that, although that's what I heard. You know you're not here for the news, child. You're here for the gossip, the rumor, and the innuendo section. So that is gossip. That is straight up gossip. I don't know if it's true. I'm not checking no facts. I'm just telling you what I heard. So she's over there skiing double shifts on Saturday, and then she spends 3 or 4 days a week over there at the barn taking care of her horse because horses are cute. Okay, cool. She also had time to drop by a local Costco parking lot to offer her favors to her boyfriend who was a fireman. The Costco parking lot? Y'all was doing it. What size is the car? I have questions. Girl, your back is better than mine because ain't no way in the world. What? Okay, cool. Oh, wait, there's more. And then it came up in her little web searches or whatever. She had adult friend finder. Wait, was it just me who knew what that was as soon as they said it? I was like, oh, she about that life. Now listen, for those who don't know, adult friend finder is a site for swingers. Now look, you and your friend want to swap gravy with another couple and do whatever kind of nasty thing. I mean, at least they had the common decency to get a hotel room when they brought in other couples. So let me understand. Now listen, it is not my job to keep up with nobody's body count. Listen, your body, your business, I'm leaving it alone. But this is what I do need to understand. She was enjoying some marital congress with her husband, I assume, because she was a married lady. Okay, that fireman was getting some of her goodies. And then her and the fireman were offering their goodies to other random couples around the state of Michigan. Wow, Michigan, y'all be getting down like that? Oh, okay. And none of my business. And don't ask me how I know about Adult Friend Finder. You mind your business. No, I have not been on there because I am a lady, but I read things. And so I knew about that. So I'm like, right. Meanwhile, your kid is over here at the house like, Mom, I'm hearing voices. Now listen. If your kid said they had a Ouija board and they was playing with the Ouija board and they thought they conjured up the devil, okay, whatever. Me personally, I don't think the Parker Brothers is going to help you conjure up the devil with something you bought down at the Target, but I don't know how demon possession works. So whatever, that ain't none of my business. Okay, my kid is being crazy. Great. He didn't clean up his room. Okay, some kids don't clean up their room. Here's the thing. His room is so filthy, there's no room for him to sleep. Okay, and so your solution to that problem was to put him in the guest room, and then that room got so filthy, there was no room for him to sleep in there either. Right, ma'am. Maybe a few less orgies and a little bit more family time. Y'all talked about, we used to play card games and we used to go bowling and we used to do all this thing. And one time when he was 5, he had a mole on his back and I took him to the urgent care. That's great, but that was 10 years before this crime. 10 years. An entire decade. Don't tell me what happened 10 years ago, ma'am. Can you tell me what happened 5 days before this crime? Because that is what I am most interested in. So she's like, I am a vigilant mother, except for when I'm skiing and swapping gravy with other people, and when I'm down with my horses, and when I'm at work, and when I'm doing other things. Ma'am, I'm gonna need her to pull her whole life together. And can we talk about the pets? I'm curious as to what the names are on those horses. I asked the other day and nobody told me. I'm dead serious. I want to know all about the horses. Let's be clear. The shooter, as they're referring to Ethan Crumbley, had a kitten. Oh, that's so nice. That kitten's still alive. Is that kitten still okay? What he do to that kitten? You know what he did to that kitten? He named the kitten Dexter. Dexter, like the serial killer dude from TV, Dexter? Okay. He also had a guinea pig, a chinchilla, a hamster. Was its name Charles Manson? Here's my kitten Dexter and my chinchilla named Charles Manson. I was going to get a box turtle and name him Hitler, but there's no room in my filthy room because we don't have room for Y'all, what is happening? So Shannon Smith goes into court and she's like, I'm a mess, you're a mess. Anything could happen. I mean, there were no signs at all, except for the pets named after serial unalivers and my son saying he's hearing voices. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to ignore with my teenagers. A lot of it. The fact I'm starving to death when the refrigerator's full of food. Yeah, that happens all day, every day. You know what I'm not going to ignore? I'm hearing voices. The voices won't stop. Man, lots and lots of things you can't ignore. That, maybe not so much. Maybe if a little bit of that orgy attention was focused on, just like, I'm not saying don't have an orgy if that's what you want to do. Have your orgy? The germs. Ew. Anyway, so do what you're going to do. Maybe you skip one tryst, spend one afternoon, not in the Costco parking lot, and just take that time and dedicate it to getting your son some mental health assistance, but only when he says, I'm hearing voices. The voices won't stop. This young man reportedly said to his parents, help me, I need help. And they laughed and they brushed it off. That is the difference between me and you and Jennifer Crumbley. Now, Shannon Smith, girl, your 4 kids, you got 4 kids. Okay, great. She's like, I did not plan to have 4 kids in 4 years. Well, listen, I too have 4 accidental pregnancies. What you want from me? I'm wildly irresponsible. Great. But you know what I also am? I pay attention to them. Yes, you can check Power School. Okay. But if the Power School note says, your child is hearing voices, he's writing stories about how he's useless, all of this was cumulative. It's not like one thing happened and then 3 years later another thing happened. Nah, this and this and this and this and this. It was a whole lot of troubling signs, But please do not pay attention to the troubling signs and the obvious neglect that this child was experiencing. And please focus on the fact that this could be you. Ma'am, Shannon Smith, I'm going to tell you right now, this could not have been me. And the reason why it could not have been me was because the minute my child said, I'm hearing voices, record scratch, that is a game changer. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to sit down. So Miss Shannon was like, look over here. Look over here. You've seen me be a bumbling hot mess. Oh, I see. So now you're telling us you up on game. We see you, man. Yes, the internet is counting how many times you say sorry. Ooh, and you feel so bad about that. And you put it in your closing statement. So. You're not going to scare me into letting this woman go free. Now, will that community be like, oh, yeah, I'm a mess too. And I could be charged with whatever crime my child commits. I don't know. People are like, well, if that happens, then you'll have parents going too far. How about you just have parents paying attention? How about that? How about that? How about the crazy idea that maybe we should pay a little attention to our kids when they say out loud with their mouths, I am having mental health distress. I'm not saying that you have to take every single thing they say seriously or literally, but when they say those words, I need help, I want a therapist, maybe you should help them. It is a radical idea. It is a radical idea because your teenager is sick of you. Oh, your teenager's sick of you. They don't want to look at you. They don't want to talk to you. The fact that you breathe is embarrassing to them. All of that is true. All of that is true. And it's fine. But when they do come to you and open their mouth and they say some things that are troubling, you know what you should do? Take that seriously. It's a radical idea. Maybe you should take that seriously. And more seriously than like, yes, he's having mental health concerns, but you know what's going to solve this? We're going to give him a gun. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. And then when the school calls and tells us also we're worried about him, well, the school didn't seem that worried. Ma'am, you didn't seem that worried. This heifer gets on my nerves. Now, listen, will she be convicted? Will she not be convicted? I have no idea. The jury has all weekend to think about this. And frankly, I'm glad. I hope they sit. I hope they marinate. And I hope they don't think, oh, if my kid misbehaves, that could fall back on me. I hope they think this boy had mental health concerns and he made it very clear. Shannon Smith got up there and act like, oh, well, he's a skilled liar. This boy was willing to go to prison for the rest of his life to say that he had a little ticklish brain. He's just like, I'm going to do this terrible thing. I recorded a video saying I'm going to do this terrible thing. And okay, I'll just go to prison for the rest of my life where I'll get more attention than I ever got in the house that I live in with my parents. Y'all, do not be distracted by that Shannon Smith, Keyser Söze. But let me tell you something else about Miss Shannon Smith. She's brilliant. Brilliant. I thought she was a mess. I thought she had a little chicken in her family on her daddy's side. I'm not going to lie. Honest to goodness, I did. But now what I know she is, a brilliant attorney. Now, if you get in trouble, oh, you want to call that heifer. You want to call her. But listen, let's not focus on Ethan. Let's focus on these children who were injured and who died, and this community who was in shock and grief and mental distress probably for the rest of their lives. How about we throw a little attention their way? Yes, we also need to focus on the law. Yes, we also need to make sure that the people down there in Michigan get this right. And parents who are ignoring their kids who are in trouble, maybe you should pay a little bit more attention. That's not to say that you should overdo. You can find a balance. I know you can. You got kids. You have common sense. You can find a balance. Regular people. But look, y'all hear my dog barking. She's ready to come in. And I'm not going to ignore her. That's her saying, help, help. And so I'm going to go help her by letting her in the house, even though I just let her out. Because she don't want to come in. She wants to come in and out and in and out and in and out. Because that's what she does all day. She's trying to drive me crazy. Look. In the words of the great philosopher, Nicki Minaj, you better salute a bad bitch. Because that Shannon Smith, she is a bad bitch. That closing she gave, fire. But you know what else? Her client, Jennifer Crumbley, need to go to jail. We'll see what happens on Monday. I'll see you then. Bye.